This is the ARLA Elite Series, here for race number 12 of 24 at the Watkins Glen International in New York. Taylor Brillin would lead on the lap 4 restart. The caution was for a wreck that took place on the first lap. Lance Andrews would be in second place, followed by Leigh Gruel, Paul Sweeney, and Siju Dejao. Kurt Walker was given a one-race suspension after Southern Illinois when he flew up in front of the leaders and took out Brenda Riggs. His teammate Namimura, instead of trying to qualify her usual 13 car, would step into the 98 for this one race, and she wasn't doing a bad job so far, running up inside the top 10. You might have seen a little scuffle in front of the 98 car. Lance Andrews overdrives the inner loop and bounces into Leigh Gruel, who then knocks Paul Sweeney off the track. However, he's able to rejoin the pack, though he loses several positions. Caution 2 would fly on lap 4. Coming through the S's, Hinata Hyuga in the 39 is going to hook and turn the 2 of Andy Pearson into the wall. Car number 2 goes up into the air and bounces across the track like a toy, hitting the wall once more, and then coming to a rest on his wheels. And Andy Pearson is able to keep going. Granted, the car is smoking and going only 20 miles an hour, but it's still going. There would be a second incident further up the track. Anthony Griffith, Justin Parker, and Bixby Foote think it's a good idea to go 3 wide through the inner loop, and it's clearly not. All 3 cars go hard into the wall. Brenda Riggs and Neji Hyuga decide to join in the fun and slide off the course as well. Taylor Brillin would once again lead on the restart, but as you're going to see, Siju Dejao will not let her get away. Car 37 pulls to the right side of Brillin's Lenard and makes a move for the lead going through turn 1. Brillin gets a great run off of 1. Dejao is going to have to complete the pass coming through the S's, and he is going to do that with Namimura right behind him. Caution 3 would fly about half a lap after the restart. These drivers have apparently not learned their lesson about going 3 wide through the inner loop. Mario Franchetti, Charlie Waters, and Paul Sweeney tried, and they all paid dearly, slamming hard into the wall. And they are joined by Leigh Gruel in the 46. Siju Dejao would lead on the restart, Taylor Brillin right behind him. Dejao is leading the Rookie of the Year standings, and he is also the youngest driver in the field. He turned 15 late June. Namimura is the second youngest driver in the field. She turned 15 in March. That white 54 car is Jerry Richardson, making his first ARLA Elite Series start. That car is owned by John Burr, who is reportedly opening up a team in the Elite Series next year. Unfortunately, Burr's operation is rumored to be a start and park team. However, that would not be the case for his team in this race. Richardson is running midfield, but he's been keeping great pace with his competitors, and not one driver has had a bad thing to say about him so far. We would finally get a full lap of green, but on the very next lap, the caution flew. Marcus Leonard does not give Scott Hamilton a whole lot of room coming into the inner loop. The 2 cars touch, and they go flying into the wall. Lance Andrews and Harry Nola want a little piece of the action, and they're going to spin their cars out coming into the inner loop. Neji Hyuga spins out once again. The drivers would not be done wrecking yet. Chris Johans is going to run turn 11 a little wide, and Ronald Porter does not move over for him, turning the 64 hard into the pit wall. Johans was having his first great run in a while, and it all goes up in smoke, so to speak. Taylor Brillin took the lead from the 37 coming to the yellow flag, but Siju Dejao decides that he wants it back. He is going to take the lead from 34 without a problem, but coming into the inner loop, he's going to come under attack from Vinny Enzo in the 22. Enzo decided that now was the perfect time to make his move, but Dejao runs him off the road coming out of the inner loop, and that hurts the 22 car a bit. Enzo's radio communication suggested that he was not too happy with Dejao's little stunt. Caution 5 on lap 14. Michael White is going to get together with Namimura coming through the inner loop, taking himself, Mura, and DJ Daniels into the wall. And there you see Laura Cyrus, Liz Hebert, Leigh Gruel, and Tristan Roberts spinning off the course as well. Dejao led on the restart. He gets a great jump over Vinny Enzo and Taylor Brillin. The last time we saw Jerry Richardson in the 54, he was running midfield. Now he's challenging Bobby Portu for the 7th position. That 54 car has really come to life, and Richardson's been sure to take advantage of it. John Burr seems to have some really good equipment, and it's a shame he's making his cars park in every race next year. The leaders are going to catch and lap Hinata Hyuga coming into the inner loop. However, she doesn't give them much of a problem, though she does run Vinny Enzo a little bit wide in the inner loop. Caution 6 would fly on lap 20. Alex Graff, who wasn't too far away from going a lap down, has his engine blow up on him, and then his car just dies. Car number 49 is going to stop on the track, and as you see the leaders go by, he doesn't get hit. That wouldn't be all that occurred on this lap, though. Hinata Hyuga runs turn 10 really, really wide, and then coming into turn 11, Tristan Roberts gets into the 39 and takes both cars hard into the wall. Siju Dejao would lead on the restart. Vincenzo in the 22 gets a great restart, and it looks like he might be able to get a run on the 37 going into turn 1. And there he goes to the inside. However, the 37 gets a great run off the corner and is able to hold the lead. The 7th and thankfully final caution would fly on lap 23, 14 laps to go. Dale Underwood runs the inner loop really, really wide and smashes into the tire barrier, bouncing in front of Leigh Gurel and Laura Cyrus, and collecting Ronald Porter as well. Cars 03, 46, and 45 would all go behind the wall and out of the race. Vincenzo would not get such a great restart this time around, allowing Siju Dejao to pad his lead a little bit. So far, Dejao has proven that he's got the car to beat. Tom Delgado, the owner of that team, must be relieved to know that he's doing something right, considering that he's struggling as a driver in both this series and the TM Master Cup series this year. Neji Hyuga and Michael White get together, sending the 0 into the outside wall coming out of the S's. Because this incident occurred in the back of the pack, the yellow flag would not fly. We haven't seen Travis Keating up front in an ARLA race too much. In fact, we haven't seen him on the grid too much. This 97 team is making only its second start of the season. Its first start was round 6 at Talladega, and Keating is running inside the top 10 here, much better than at that race. Taylor Brilland is going to decide that Vincenzo is just holding her up. Coming into turn 11, she makes a bold move, sticking her nose to the inside of the 22. Enzo realizes she's there and runs the turn really wide. Brilland would take the second spot away from the 22 and start chasing down the 37. Dejao would run the exit of the inner loop really wide, hit a really nasty bump in the grass, and that would slow his car down just enough to allow the 34 to catch right up. Alex Carson is going to find himself in the third spot and breaking away from the pack, so he decides that he's good enough to chase down the leaders. Carson, the former two-time ARLA Thunder Trucks champion, has been quite hungry in this series. His only victory came at the Homestead Miami Speedway in 2007. Mike Andrews would be having a great run in that 23 car until he gets into his teammate Vincenzo and smashes into the wall coming out of the inner loop. As Mike Andrews did not wreck in front of traffic, the yellow flag did not come out for this incident. After being unable to get around Siju Dejao using conventional methods, Taylor Brilland decides to try to get around 37 on the outside coming through turn 11. However, that does not work, and it allows Siju Dejao to pad his lead even more. Even though she can't get by the 37, Taylor Brilland is in position to have another very good run. She won at Southern Illinois last week, and if she keeps up her great finishing average, she could very well challenge for the title. Alex Carson would soon catch up to the leaders. However, unfortunately for the fans, it would be evident that Carson just did not have the strength to make this a three-car battle for the win. In the closing laps of the race, the handling on car number 34 would seem to just go away as Siju Dejao gets a great burst of speed coming off of turn 11. Brilland's car would eventually come back to life, but she just did not have enough time. Siju Dejao is going to take his first ARLA Elite Series victory and become the youngest winner of the season at 15 years old.